Welcome back to another episode of Triumph, Fuel, and Fire. And I'm super excited about this. My name is Tyler. I'm the owner of Triumph Studio, and I'm here with Corina Harkelroad, who is one of the founders of Triumph. And actually, the title of this episode is The Spark Before the Fire, which is, and we'll get to that, because really, like, Corina is the spark that started the fire, that turned into this. And there's a lot of twists and turns to that, but you wear many, many hats. I think most ladies do. But you're a high-performing individual that is always on the go, keep a full schedule, mom, coach, nutrition coach, wife, daughter, all the things. Plus, currently training for the Masters Olympian.
The Masters Olympia, yeah.
Yeah. And for me, I love seeing that. I'm so damn proud of you for doing that. That's just an incredible accomplishment. Just because me and you know, and pretty soon they'll all know. But one of the things that I think I have to say, because I learned this with my journey with Beachbody and winning the Beachbody Challenge, the power of written goals.
Yes.
Every day I would see on your locker, I'm an Olympian. And I don't think, probably not too many people even realized that the power and the intent behind that. But every day you came in here, you saw that. Did you have that written anywhere else?
Yes, it's on my pantry, it's on my bathroom mirror, it's on my computer, my laptop, it's where I do my devotions in the morning, everywhere. And I actually had hired basically a mindset coach, and she's also a breathwork coach who encouraged me to do that. So it was a game changer. It honestly was, the mindset. And we talk about it here.
Right, all the time.
But like actually implementing it outside, it's like, I got to see that it works.
It does.
Yes.
It really, I'll never forget standing on the MGM grand stage in front of 20,000 whatever people, just being like, man, on a little index card, because I read it in a book by Anthony Robbins, like, write down your goals.
Yes.
Take it from a dream to a tangible something, and it was an index card on the refrigerator in my office and in my bathroom mirror, and I still have an index card in the bottom left corner with goals.
I love
and I
that.
just remember every morning looking at it, like getting ready to go down to my little 8x8 spot in the dingy basement, like, I'm gonna win the Beachbody Challenge.
Yes.
And just remember with the mindset of, I want it that bad. Like, there's somebody out there I know that wants it too, but they don't want it as bad as me.
Right.
And there were tons of other deserving people, but I'm not going to block a blessing. That was another thing I learned through that.
Yeah.
And before we get going too far, like, would you like to introduce yourself in a little bit?
Yes. Okay, so I'm Corina. I'm a mom of 3, so I think that's my biggest job and purpose in life, is to be a mother to my twin boys, Drake and Isaiah, and then Lily, my baby girl, who's going into 6th grade. So.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and
You ready for that?
I am not ready for middle school. I am not, but I pray daily. and yeah, just really my passion is this place, helping others, especially mothers. I think I have a special place in my heart because exercise saved my life. As a mother, I had these 3 little kids, and I felt lost. I felt like I lost who I was.
Yeah.
And it was stepping into my first group exercise class where I felt alive. And so I think that was kind of the spark, was, being able to have that time for myself and escape and fill my cup. And it showed me that I'm a better mom. I'm a better wife. I had more patience. And it's crazy because you think, oh, I'm going to go to this exercise class. I'm going to be more tired. I'm not going to be able to take care of these kids. But it's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of my passion comes from my own experience with that.
Did you struggle with any feelings of, like, you felt selfish?
Oh my gosh.
In the beginning,
the mom
like,
guilt was awful.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of time for me to get past it, and a lot of encouragement from Justin. Like, he noticed a difference in me, in my mood, and so then him pouring into me and allowing me that space just let me let go of that mom guilt.
Yeah. And I'm sure, and I know you do have, it's just, I've seen it over all the years. Like, when there's a mom or something, like, you just, you gravitate towards them and you just
Yes.
have a way of pulling out their best and like showing them comfort because of what you've experienced it. You've been
Yeah.
there. And I know I do it, we do it, all the coaches have their niche.
Yes.
But I think everybody at Triumph, and we've talked about it in past podcasts, we're not afraid to hold that space
Yeah.
because we know, which is part of why it's dark and why it's loud, and like there's a lot of details behind that. But I think the biggest thing is like it's okay to feel those feelings.
Yes.
Like actually you need to.
Right. I
Yeah.
think that's where Justin and I actually bumped heads a lot when we first opened Triumph because of the childcare room. And moms, I would be giving out free passes because
I remember.
I'm like, they need this. They need this. So,
Right.
yeah, I
Which is-
definitely have a big place in my heart for mamas.
And I think that-
everybody,
But that's why you guys are such a great team, because you equal each other out.
Mm-hmm.
Like the positives and the negatives and I mean, I've got a chance to see it over the years, and
Yeah.
you know, thankfully Kelly and I do the same thing. I mean, today is our 15th wedding anniversary.
oh
It
my
was wild.
gosh,
Like,
congrats.
yeah, and it's just, it takes that, you know, and that's why I'm super thankful that you decided, you know, that you were willing to do this.
Yeah.
Nervous or not,
I
or
know.
whatever. But because we heard from Justin, which was just fitting for him, at least from my standpoint, for him to be episode 1. Because
Yeah.
I think so many people know our story, but they don't know all the story.
Right.
And nobody will ever know all the story, but like the lab, what was it, why, and all that stuff. And I mean, if you could say, because like we led this off with, the spark before the fire of the Triumph Fuel and Fire was you and I kind of meeting, and there's a lot to that. But like, what do you remember from that day? You know,
Deciding to do this?
well, the day that you and I first met, before it even came to
Oh.
that, because I mean, you are the reason this exists
Yeah.
in a lot of ways.
We're going way back.
Yeah, but I mean, because the beach body, all
Yeah.
that, you becoming an instructor sort of ties to a chance meeting.
Yes,
When-
and I do think, like, I look back at all of that because we met probably 15 years ago,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit over that, and I look back and how God worked throughout all of that because, yeah, so I met
100%.
you when Justin was just trying to give me a job to get out of the house because I'm staying home by myself with these twin boys, and I think they were like 1, so
Yeah.
I'm going crazy, and so he gave me 1 day a month to get out and market. And I come across your office,
Yeah.
giving you goodies that you don't eat.
Yeah, and I remember you were like, why won't you eat them?
Yes. But you were always like so easy to talk to, and it was so fun visiting you. And then obviously I must have told Justin about you, and you guys got connected.
Yeah, I remember you were like, you got to meet my husband. I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah. And then you changed our lives. Because before you, I didn't know what protein was. I didn't ever have a protein shake. We did not exercise. I had never belonged to a gym, ever. And you introduced us to P90X and then Shakeology, which was like dessert for me as a busy mom.
Right.
It was like I
The
needed
chocolate
something. Yeah, I
money.
was like,
we still drink it to this day.
yeah, it's so good. But that was my first like introduction to any kind of nutrition. You know, I'd gained a lot of weight with the kids. I wasn't feeling good about myself. And Justin and I did a full round of P90X because of you. And it was like, wow, we got to work out together. I was able to lose my baby weight after the boys, and it was a game changer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you for that.
Hey, I mean, like you said, it's God.
Yeah, it was God.
God
'cause-
did that.
Yes. And it's just crazy how it all, you know, then my passion for fitness happened after all the kids.
Yeah, because I remember, and then at one point I came and worked for you guys.
Yeah.
Because Justin was like, why don't you just come work
Yeah.
here? Okay. And a little side note about Shakeology, like Justin literally eats no vegetables, nothing green. And I remember to you and me, the chocolate Shakeology was like dessert. And I remember him being like, this tastes like grass.
Yeah.
Like, how do you get grass
I know.
out of that?
With any of these protein supplements, I'm like, if Justin likes it, it's a winner.
Yeah.
Like, you'll love it because he's like a little kid.
It's amazing how far he's come.
Yeah, for
since,
sure.
Since back then. Mm-hmm. But so what was the next evolution in your fitness journey after that? after P90X, after
So after
Beachbody.
P90X, and then I ended up having my daughter, Lily, which then I gained a ton of weight, went through postpartum depression, trying to take care of 3 kids under 3. Again, trying to work out at home, doing, 21 Fix and some of those at-home workouts, but it wasn't until I figured out that the Y had childcare and I was able to work out there and have my time. Justin's such a big influence, I feel like, on the community, because he had made a post. Like, I thought, oh, when the kids go to school, I'll become a fitness instructor. And he had made a post of something like, why wait? What are you waiting for? Go after it. And I'm thinking, he's talking to me, And so I got my group exercise certification and started teaching classes and became obsessed, taught everything at the Y that I could. And
What was the first class that you taught? Was it Turbo Kick?
it was Turbo Kick.
Yeah.
Turbo Kick, which is a P90
Yeah.
or Beachbody program.
Yeah, it was Shalene Johnson.
Yep. And then I did PIO.
Yeah.
And then I was doing like a barbell class, kind of like our build, and just doing everything I could. I taught a cycle class, and it was somebody at the Y, and this is how God works. Somebody at the Y kept telling me, you need to compete. You need to compete. And I'm like, what is this competition? What are you talking about? And then we were on vacation with the family in like Punta Cana, and somebody at the pool said, do you compete? I'm like, okay, God.
Yeah.
How
many more signs do I need?
Yes. And so then I hired my own coach, and that's kind of where I was personal training, I was teaching all these classes, but I wasn't really able to help the clients because I didn't know anything about nutrition.
Yeah.
And so once I hired my own coach, it was like, wow, the world opened up. And people started asking me, what do you do? And I'm like, I eat protein.
Yeah.
And peanut butter's not protein.
Well,
it's a little bit of protein, you guys, but
it is.
But you know how much I love peanut butter.
I do.
And so it was like, okay, finding what foods I needed to fuel my workouts, and then like feeling like, okay, I don't have to starve myself.
No.
Because even as a personal trainer and as like a coach, I thought I need to do more, eat less.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're taught.
Yes.
And so it wasn't until I got my own coach and I figured out, oh my gosh, I could eat all these foods that I love and still hit my goals. It was like I wanted to share it with the world. And so it wasn't until Lily, Justin's the businessman.
Yeah.
And he knows I have a huge passion for fitness, but it was really his idea to open a gym. But he wanted just a boxing gym.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
and that was after you guys had traveled for Allstate, right?
Yeah.
And went to Rumble.
Yeah, we went to Rumble, and we would always, every place we went, we'd do like a cycle class or some type of fitness class. And so I'm like, if we're opening up a boxing gym, we're going to have strength training. We're going to have cycling. I needed the cycling. And so
in the original plan, there was just those two things, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then we thought about doing a Versa climber because we had done a class.
I remember that.
And I was getting into bar classes teaching at the Y because, again, I taught everything. And so we're like, okay, well, why don't we have a bar room? And but really it was his passion for business. And I was like, okay.
Because he was kind of bored?
Yes.
What he
That's
was
what
at.
that
Because
man
I remember
does.
at the lab when Barry and Shay came out and we were sitting there in that circle and he was basically like, I just got bored.
Yeah.
So I had to shake things up.
Yeah, and that's our life. And I just hold on for dear life. But I was kind of against it because, again, family was my first priority. And I worried that I know how hard it is to open a business. And so it took him like promising me that like family comes first, our family vacations come first. And so I agreed. And this was the summer of 2019 without knowing we're going to hit a pandemic.
Yeah. No, I mean.
And it changed everything.
No one could have known.
Nobody could know. But I do think that, again, I think God was at work because I don't think if we didn't have that pandemic and everything shut down, one, I think people would have been stuck in their routine, going to the Y, going to all the other places. And
we never would have got the chance to earn their trust the way that we did.
And I think people after the pandemic were like looking for a community. And I think that this place is like no other.
Yeah.
Because we put everything from everywhere in one spot. It was like, okay, I could get everything at this place. And we really built a family at the lab, from the beginning.
Oh man, it was such a special place.
So
Like I still have one of the bean bags in the back that I rode on a bike on a pallet in front of you, Johnny, and Justin.
Yes.
Yeah, but we basically lived together there.
Yeah, we did.
So many different things. Like, I remember me and Justin just constantly texting back and forth, like, hey, this didn't work.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? And we realized, oh, we need 2 computers. We need 2 screens.
Yes.
We need a clicker.
Right.
Remember when the freaking clicker? And then I remember being like, yo, what about our own music?
Yeah.
And like just all these evolutions, but that's happened in all the rooms.
It has.
But it all started from, like, how'd that conversation go?
With
From
Justin?
what you remember, when you were like, hey, I got an idea.
Oh, it wasn't my idea.
Just to start this?
Yeah, no. So I can't take any credit. It was Justin's idea, and I actually said no, no, no. He was at Warrior, and I had just filled out Lily's paperwork for kindergarten, and I thought, okay, all my babies are in school, fine. I will support this, and that's kind of how it went.
You called him at Warrior because
I called him.
He talked about that in the first podcast.
Yeah.
Because he said, I had just told all the guys I was in that truck with, nope, we're not doing it, not doing it. And out of nowhere, Corina calls me and said, okay, let's do it. And he's
Yeah.
like, well, here we go.
Yes.
And I'll never forget being at Sweetwater, sitting there in my cubicle. I hadn't talked to you guys in a little while.
Yeah.
But I just got a call from Justin. He's like, yo, what up? I'm like, what up? And he's like, I got an idea. You want to sell me a bunch of shit? Yep. And then he started telling me about the idea, and he came and met me there. And he started telling me more, and I remember, like, we're going through this list of all these speakers and all this equipment, and
Yeah.
I remember, I don't know what it was, but something said, you gonna need trainers? Because I had personal trained at that time. I used to go to Steel Dynamics corporate office and teach all these ladies group fitness on their lunch breaks. And yeah, it just,
Yeah.
God, man.
And I do think from the get-go, like, this was meant for you. Like, I do think God had this all laid out, because you have such a big passion for fitness, helping people, business, like, you have it all. Where, like, I feel like, yeah, Justin and I were a good team because I had a passion for fitness and he had a passion for business, but it's different when it's in one person. Like, I feel like, that's how I feel. I feel like it was meant,
I mean, God,
everything.
God is still working.
Oh, for sure.
He's
Yeah.
still working. And I was shocked to find out when I asked Justin what was the significance behind Triumph. And he was like, bro, it's literally, I just needed something that was easy to say, one word to market and put on shirts and shit and sell. But now you have it tattooed on your back.
I do.
What was the significance that made that
So
happen?
for me, Triumph, the reason I wanted to get it tattooed on my back is I have my baby's footprints going up my back to a cross. And for me, in my mind, that's my number one purpose, is bringing my children to Christ. And so in my mind, that's Triumph. And I also I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So it's kind of that journey of, like, I say, triumph over your trials, like, turn your pain into passion, like, all of that goes into that, like, the footprints in the sand of when, like, the hardest times you can look back and God was carrying you, that whole story. And so that's where Triumph is in my heart. And yeah, so that's kind of why it's tatted on me.
Yeah, man, I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that. I look at that often, and for me, I see a cross. I mean, in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
because, like, you were the one that looked at Justin, from what I understand, during church and was like, hey, we should do a worship ride. And
Yeah.
I look at what that has done.
Yes.
Like, who would have ever thought? I know for me personally, being the broken man that I was, and the way I surrendered in that night in jail, and then another 3.5 years before I actually, Jesus finally revealed himself, and so many different things. But to, one, be on a bike teaching a fitness class, but then, like, openly speaking on Jesus' name and God, like,
Yeah.
blows my own mind.
It's crazy because it was terrifying when I thought about it. And I'm like, oh my God, will people accept it? What will they think? Will people show up? And it's like overcoming that fear. And I think this place is such a safe place. because we love everybody. Come as you are, and I think the fact that this community is so accepting that it allowed it to be what it is today.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely, there's so many things. Just like you said, how when I walk in that room now, to know where it was when me and you would co-teach in there, and it looked like a model home kitchen
Yes.
with laminate floors, and we're sliding around, and Travis is back there flopping around.
And it's all bright.
Yeah.
Yes. No.
It just took us a while to figure out.
Yeah.
But I think we're still, which is part of why, like, the theme for the 5-year, the best is yet to come.
That's
like,
right.
We're still building.
Yes.
We're still growing, and like something that Zach's Fit and I were talking about was just because he has a unique perspective. He's traveling the country and he's going to 48 some different studios, and the one thing that he said that we had to sit there and unpack was, he was like, studios have to understand you're not for everybody.
Right.
And I think part of that, at least for me, what I'm learning is we're figuring out who we're not, which helps us clearly understand who we are.
Yeah. For sure.
Which I think in a lot of ways, not just Triumph Studio, but we as people. And it's wild how much this team, this family, has evolved.
Yeah, and I will say that was like the biggest thing when I started coaching classes here. I will say the growth of me as an instructor is night and day. I thought I was like the instructor in Fort Wayne, like I was teaching all the classes at the Y, Orange Theory. But then it was like I was nowhere to where I am now. And it was the people around, our team members, the coaches that made me a better instructor, the constant challenging each other to be better.
Right.
So it's not like we're like challenging our members to be better. We're also challenging ourselves daily.
In a healthy way.
And it's amazing. And I'm thankful for that.
And there's been phases of unhealthy.
Yeah, there has been.
And I think that's part of what makes us what we are, like the banter between one another, the constant push for growth, to be better.
Yeah.
All those things. Is this mic drifting down? Is it just me? Is it like, I was sitting here. Michelle, what are you doing? I was just sitting here, I'm like, wait a minute.
It was at the same level.
Yeah.
I didn't notice.
It's like, my mic's going limp, dog. What the hell? Michelle, you behave yourself. That'd be one for the blooper reel.
Oh my gosh.
But that's just like, we have moments like that in class.
Yes.
The damn mics. But we just roll with it.
Rolling with the punches.
Just roll with it. And would you have ever imagined where we're at now?
No. I mean, it's terrifying opening, during the pandemic, and you can only have half capacity every other, It's just funny to think about them going in with their lamps, cleaning the boxing, but
The pit crew.
the pit crew, yeah, I think it has evolved in the best ways. And so it's so cool to see. It is so cool to see. And the lives that we're changing is awesome.
I mean, I never would have imagined. Like some of the stories, now that we're approaching 5 years, the transformations. I mean, there's a marriage that has come from it, a child that has come from it.
Yes.
And just the people, I think we do focus on weight loss, but I think we also focus on weight gain.
I think, yes, strength and
I think we focus on weight loss in ways that you will never see in a picture.
Yeah.
That I think are some of the most important. Like a before and after picture only tells, it's like a 2-dimensional image. There is so much more, which I think for me and you, that's what allowed fitness to become my addiction, for me to channel my addictive energy. But it taught me so much about how to process pain, how to push through hard things, how to triumph over your triumphs, or triumph over your trials, and keep showing up. Like that's where that whole came from. Just like that index card. Like, I don't want to do this workout, but let me just keep showing up.
you always feel better when you're done.
Yeah, I've never got to the. I mean, we've had some workouts here where it kicks your ass, but I've never got to the end and be like, wish I wouldn't have done that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. What did Triumph mean, if you can put this into words, what did Triumph mean day one when the door opened, and what's it mean now to you personally?
I think day one, I was still in this dream. Like, this is my dream. And now I feel like the dream is a reality. And I'm back to, I never wanted to be a business owner. And so once we started going, I realized, like, I don't want to be a business owner. I want to just teach my classes and help people. And now it's like, I got my passion back. Because it's hard. It's hard.
It has challenges.
It has challenges. It's blood, sweat, and tears. And it takes a special person to run a business. And I'm just so thankful and blessed that it's like in your hands, because it's family. And so this Triumph is now family. It's my home away from home. It's my happy place. I wish I could be here every day, but it kind of goes against my body needs rest with my goals as far as competing.
Yeah.
But you better believe in my off season, I'm here a lot more.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it is wild how God has used all of us to create this.
Yeah.
And the other coaches and all the connections and yeah. And it's interesting that you say that, though, because sometimes I think a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of people want to build a business because I love doing this activity, whatever this is, but then once it becomes work, it's like, oh shit. Mm-hmm. It's not what I wanted.
Yes.
Because there's all these other aspects which is why it's so amazing the way our team is continuing to evolve, where there are now leaders that handle certain aspects.
Yes.
Because I can't handle.
Yes.
Can I? Should
No.
I? Right.
You
like
can't.
I can't efficiently.
Yeah, yeah. And that's where
and
Justin kind of, that's where he hit his end.
And that's where I
he
feel
couldn't do it all.
I feel bad in some ways, and he and I have talked about it, because I saw it. Like in my mind, it's like he can handle anything. But I also knew as a friend,
Yeah.
like, I'm noticing some things, but you also know how Justin is. He's like, I'm fine.
Oh, yeah.
I'm fine. No.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. I'm like, okay. And I did.
Yeah.
And I mean, there were so many times where, like, you guys thankfully granted me grace, because, when Kelly got her master's during COVID and then had to go take the job that she did to get to where she's at now, and it's the only time she's been depressed.
Yeah.
And it's something had to, at that time the boys were at the ages where, one was like 18, the other one was 14, and they're giving me hell.
A lot.
It was just, it was a lot. So I needed to step back. And I remember in boot camp doing a side lunge and blood runs out of my nose. And it was like, that was God telling me, like, something, because you and I have talked many times, like, we don't rest enough. I think
Right.
we're both better, but
We're making progress.
yeah.
We're making progress.
But yeah, sometimes God will just continue to slap you upside the head until it's like, hey, sit down.
Yes.
Sit your ass down.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you guys trusting me, because like we've talked about it before. Justin, when he first said, hey, I got an idea, I was like, whatever, shut up. And he's like, no, I'm serious. I know you're not. He's like, go home and talk to Kelly. I was like, whatever. Kelly walks in the door, I say something to her, and she's like, shut up. She thought it was a joke, but God, man.
I love it.
God, thank you guys for trusting
Yeah.
us. And I'll ask you a version of the same question that I asked him, because I remember thinking, like, what was it? And I guess you kind of answered this, like, what was it about me? His answer shocked me, sort of. It doesn't now that I've thought about it, but he just said Kelly, because he knew that she wouldn't let me hurt myself in the ways of trying to do it all myself.
Yeah. You guys have a really good partnership,
And he's a stubborn dude. So,
yeah.
like, how was that? For whatever you're down to speak to from your side, because that had to be hard, because you probably saw it in ways that nobody else did.
Yes. From the get-go, it was a toll on him. And I've seen him open businesses, and I've seen him stress and take himself to that capacity, but this was on another level to where it was not healthy for him. And so as his wife, trying to support him, but also trying to be his business partner and like, okay, something has to give.
That's a lot.
And I honestly think as soon as he told me that you guys had that conversation, I was like, oh, praise God, praise Jesus. Yes. Yes. Like I had never had a doubt in my mind. And I remember you like constantly like asking me like, how do you feel about this? Are you okay? And I'm like, there is no doubt in my mind. You know, when I feel like when you know, and there was never a question. There was never a hesitation. It was like, yes, Tyler, this is perfect.
I think part of my was not second guessing it is just, it's like, I know what our dream was together, like, and what we're building. And I feel like the dream is as alive as it's ever been. And and some of it is like, that's a lot of pressure to continue the legacy and take the dream and continue to push it forward. But we're doing it.
Oh my gosh. And I think that you are doing an amazing job. I love because you have really pushed the nutrition program, which has always been a passion of mine, because these people can't get the changes they want. They can't feel their best unless they have the nutrition.
Yeah.
And so the fact that you are really pushing it, I think is only going to help our community and educate them and help them feel their best. It's like, yes, you can get in these workouts and get the 45 minutes of escape and like get your heart going and all that, but what are you doing outside of here? And if you're beating yourself up and not refueling, you're gonna break.
Yep.
And so I think that, again, your passion for helping and the nutrition and the whole aspect is only making this place better.
It's just, it's God. 100%.
Amen.
Like it seriously makes me think of that night in jail, laying there surrendering.
Yeah.
Like, because I just remember, like, hey God, here I am, broken, literally sitting in jail.
Yes.
But if you can help me, I give every day for the rest of forever. And this just feels like a part of that.
Yeah.
The biggest part of that. Because people have asked me before, like, man, how's it going? You missed the mortgage? I've never felt more aligned. Ever. Yeah. Like, is it pushing me harder than I've ever been pushed and stretched? Yes.
Right.
Yes. This last year has been a lot. Like, I'm literally not the same person. But that's just because God trusted me.
Right. And I do think that's how it works. Like, Justin now is living his purpose.
Right.
And it's because of this place too. Right. It's like he learned to coach.
Yeah.
He learned, to actually help people and communicate with people and his faith. I mean, to do this and everything.
Right. The whole story allowed his connection for him and Jesus to sit down and
to get to your lowest low.
Right.
His lowest low was towards the end.
Yeah.
Mentally.
Right. Well, and I think part of it is the physical aspect too, because that's anher form of stress that maybe in former businesses he didn't have to deal with.
Oh, no.
But like we used to joke after he would teach boot camp and he'd be like, my eyes always turn red.
And shake.
I'm like, bro, that's not normal. It's a sign of something.
Yes. Yeah.
And
it's a lot.
That doesn't really happen now.
Yeah. So.
And you mentioned that like a part of what we do here that I think is so beneficial is training the mind. And focusing on, hey, you're going to have days where bad stuff happens. How do you handle it? And if you can step into these rooms and do these things, then we do hard things. There's nothing you can't do.
That's right.
Yeah, and it's all part of that story, hinging on almost 5 years now.
Yeah, we're going to party soon.
It's crazy.
It's wild. Awesome. 5's my favorite number too. So I feel
like really?
This is going to be the best year yet.
Heck yeah. And your daughter will be here dancing.
Yeah, she's going to be dancing. And my boys turned 14, so they're counting down till when they could come to classes.
Are they going to come?
Isaiah will for sure.
That's amazing.
He can't wait.
He's the one that's benching.
Yeah.
He's about to hit he's about to hit plates.
Yeah.
I heard that in Justin's check-in.
He's a little muscle man.
That's crazy. Yeah. But man, that right there is a big part of why I get so excited about people that make the changes like you have, like we have, because kids do what they see.
Yes, they do.
Like, they don't do what they're told. Yeah, I mean, they do to a degree, but like, we create the normal that they will then dictate on their kids
Yeah.
and their grandkids.
I mean, my favorite thing is to see moms and daughters in here working out together.
Right.
Sisters, best friends,
Yeah.
coworkers. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah, just the friendships that are created in and out of the rooms.
Yeah.
What would you say, just to sort of move forward, like for your Masters Olympian training? How has this place prepared you for that, and what do you think the next steps forward for you look like?
Well, I'm
in your
very
training?
thankful for this place because I don't have to do any extra cardio. A lot of these bodybuilders have to walk on the Stairmaster for an hour, and I get to go to the class and cycle and do my boot camps, and that's my cardio. So that's one thing that this place does. But I think just the support and encouragement, like all the coaches are always cheering me on. Kristen and Brady choreographed my routine.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
amazing.
it takes a freaking village
It does.
to get to where I'm at in my bodybuilding career. And so I'm just so thankful, and Justin's support. But as far as my prep goes, the nutrition, and I think this is why I am, so close with my clients, because that's where I struggle the most.
Yeah.
And my coach knows it, but I am not perfect. And I think a lot of people look, and I try to educate our classes, like, one, when I get really lean, it's not healthy.
I've heard you say that before, and I love that.
Yes, I don't want these women, because, some of our clients will come up to me and say, you look really good, you're looking great. And I'm like, I am not healthy right now.
Right.
But it's an extreme sport.
And you're an athlete.
And I'm an
And
athlete, and I have a goal, and it's
Right.
for a short time. And so I think it helps me to help my clients even more, because I'm going through it with them. Like,
Right.
I'm not perfect on my diet. I have to tell my coach when I check in, okay, I had some ice cream, or I had a little couple extra bites of my kid's crust off of Papa John's. So I think it helps my clients see that you don't have to be perfect.
No, and you shouldn't strive to be.
Exactly.
That
like,
just creates anxiety and
yes.
self-defeating thoughts, and because none of us are perfect.
No. And so
What keeps you focused when things get tough?
my biggest why is to inspire, my children to go after their dreams. And, I'm 40 now, so it's like it's never too late. My very first bodybuilding show I went to just to watch, there was a 72-year-old woman on stage, and I was like, that is incredible.
Yeah.
And I never thought, in my mind growing up, I thought, okay, you have kids and your body's ruined forever. You're never going to look the same. And I think my biggest inspiration, like when things get hard, it's like, okay, I want to inspire that mom out there who thinks she's 40 and she's never going to get her body back, and she can't go after her dreams. She's never going to be able to move the way she wants to move. And I'm here to show you, like,
Yeah.
you can do it.
Yeah.
And it's not too late.
No.
And we have a great place for you to, to support you in your health and fitness goals. So
Yeah, and it's almost a shift in perspective. You can have a better body than you ever even imagined.
yeah, I was a gymnast for 13 years, and I never had abs,
Right.
ever. Like,
Yeah.
I never had the physique I have now.
And for lack of a better, like, you just don't care.
Right.
for the things that used to in your 20s that you cared about.
Yes.
Like, oh, I have to look this certain way
Yeah.
for, like, who cares?
Yeah. I think, for me, I was always self-conscious about my arms and my muscles. And so I think we all have our body parts that kind of we
yeah.
focus on. And I feel like the older I
Yes.
get, I'm learning to be like, okay, these strong arms, I could lift my babies that are 100 pounds.
Right.
It's changing that perspective.
Big time.
I'm able to move my body. I'm able to do this where, my mom who has knee issues and like is not in shape can barely get out of bed or get on the ground and play with her grandkids.
Same.
And so that's my motivation.
Yeah. And that perspective is such a big one. Like the skin surgery that I had, that you were so helpful in encouraging me to do that. And I'm so glad that I did. And through that, I learned so much as far as, because that was was and is so much better now, a mental struggle. But and part of that was because I allowed myself to attach expectations of what my body would look like.
Yeah.
And it's the opposite. But it's me learning to look at the bigger picture, zoom out and be like, man, I feel great.
Yes.
I sleep better, and I no longer have an unhealthy emotional attachment to trying to get rid of this skin that I can't.
Yeah.
Because I was taking fat burners and I was doing all these things that I would never advise anyone else to do.
Right. Right.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is I gained 10 pounds and I'm now 5% higher body fat than I was before.
Yeah. But
That's
you have more
okay.
energy. You're probably sleeping better.
And I'm 45.
Yes.
I shouldn't be 8% body fat.
Right.
Because like you said, can I? Yeah. Should I? No.
Right.
It's not healthy.
Right.
It's not healthy, bro.
Yeah.
Like not if I still want to chase Kelly around and shit.
Yes.
I just want to lay down.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love that. And I think that's what we try to teach our clients. Like, it's
Right.
not about that number on the scale.
Right.
It's about how you feel, how your clothes fitting, your energy, your sleep. Like, it's way more than just like what you look like in the mirror
Yeah.
or a
What's-
number on a scale.
What's one of the biggest things that you have learned about yourself through the prep for the Masters Olympia?
I feel like I'm just getting started, okay? I think not just this prep, but I mean, I've been competing since 2018. I've been a pro since 2019. I've done 17 pro shows, and I've lost a lot. And it's all in God's timing is what I've learned the most, because last year I had the goal of going to the Olympia, and it didn't happen. And I feel like God was preparing me. Like, I always had the bucket list of competing abroad, and I get to go to freaking Japan. Like, it's always better than, you may want something, but
Yeah.
God has something better.
Right.
And it was like, it got me excited to turn 40,
Yeah.
because that's your master's at 40. And
Right.
so I know I still have the goal of going to the Olympia in Vegas, but I'm like, dude, I get to go to Japan. And that's a dream of mine. So
Yeah.
I think it's all in God's timing. That
One step at a time.
bodybuilding is a subjective sport. That's
Right.
another thing, is the judges may like a girl's costume or the music or, you know, the girl's hair color. It's so subjective. And something that my pastor told me was, you know, the only judgment that matters is God's. So if I'm going on that stage to shine his light, that's all. That's all that matters. Win or lose, I go out, do my best, and try to inspire others. Like, job well done. And
Yeah.
that's all I need, is to know that and remind myself of that.
And I think anybody that really knows you or gets a chance to be around you knows that you're doing that.
Yeah, thank
Like,
you.
I mean, you are one of the kindest people. And I think a lot of times it shocks people and they're like, there's no way that's real. You know what I mean? Sadly, that's just in
Yeah.
the society we live in. They're like, there's no way that she looks that put together, has all that, and is actually nice. No way. But it's real.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, because you guys have shown me grace, and watching you guys have taught Kelly and I some things, and like I think we're all in it together.
Yeah.
Like we all learn from one another. And I mean, with that said, you know, you've stood for so many in the community. What would you say to any woman who's doubting herself right now, in this moment watching this? Like if she has any doubts in herself on, can I? Is it too late?
I will say, yes, you can, and it's 100% worth it. Whatever excuse you're telling yourself, the stories you're telling in your head, they're lies.
Yeah.
Just show up, like you say. Just walk through these doors, and we will embrace you. And just take that first step, no matter how scary it is. Because I'm
Right.
telling you, it's all. I remember going to my first group exercise class. I didn't know how to set up the bike. We take care of that for you here.
Right.
But you know, it's terrifying. But do it, because you'll never regret it.
Yeah.
It changed my life, and it will. You know, so just go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you got to lose by trying?
Exactly. You'll either be stuck where you're at right now, or there's something way better on the other side.
Yeah, it might work out better than you had ever even imagined.
It will.
For real. All right, couple rapid fire questions.
Okay, I'm scared.
Go-to post-lift meal.
Oh, okay. So I'm obsessed with bandbodynutrition.com. I don't get anything from them, but they have treats like blondies, chocolate chip cookies. I do a brownie. It's 21 grams of protein, 170 calories with my Ninja Creamy. So
I look at those every time we go to Costco,
Dude.
and I still haven't bought one.
the Ninja Creamy,
Yeah, because I
That's-
know I will eat all of it.
and you can. It's 30 grams of protein, and that's it. It's heaven. Okay, I should be sponsored by Ninja Creamy. Shout out. But
Holla.
no, it's honestly like, if you love ice cream, I love ice
I
cream.
need
I
to.
love sweets.
Because, like, if we have a night where it's like it's my 10%, where I get to just
Mm-hmm.
do whatever the kids, it is pizza and handles.
There you
They
go.
got a 4-scoop sampler.
So you could have your
and it's-
pizza and then have your Ninja Creamy.
Right.
So that's my post-workout go-to.
Favorite Triumph memory?
Would be the suicide prevention ride. So I lost my brother to suicide, and having people come, I'm gonna get teary. Having everybody show up for such an amazing cause, and like hearing everybody's stories and how much suicide has affected so many people in our community,
Yeah.
it was the best memory to come together, and we rode and we cried,
Yeah.
and it was awesome.
Celebrating the memories.
Yes. And just mental awareness, like mental
Yeah.
health awareness. And I think that's what this place does for a lot of people.
Did you know that would be what we do?
No,
To the degree that we
No.
do it?
No.
I didn't.
not at all.
I mean, I had sort of a hope, but I never would have imagined,
No.
like you just said, that we could host something so impactful like that.
Yes.
And so many people would allow themselves,
To be vulnerable.
right? Because that's hard.
So hard. But we do have the perfect place
Do you still
for
have
it.
moments in there where you'll have a moment?
All the time.
Yeah,
I mean, goosebumps
I do too.
constantly. Like I rode for Amelia on Sunday, and it was like everything I needed that I didn't know I needed.
Isn't that wild?
It's amazing.
Does it still shock you sometimes?
It just
I've had a few
brings me
moments.
so much joy, and you know, like I said, goosebumps. It reminds me that this is exactly where I'm supposed to be
Right.
at this exact moment.
Right. I remember last year on my 14-year sober anniversary, I was riding on stage with Kristen. Brady was teaching, she played Running by NF, and it was just so wild. Like, I have this cross on this left shoulder for a very distinct reason, and I know this probably sounds crazy unless you've had them, but sometimes during worship or a moment, I'll put my right hand because that was my vision, and I swear, like, I felt the hand on top of mine. Like, and
I
it's
love
so
it.
crazy how those happen.
Yeah.
Like, in just this week, like, I just lost one of my old childhood best friends.
Yeah.
Like, you go in those rooms, and I think that's one of the coolest
Yeah.
things.
I'll never forget, before I taught a worship ride, I had just found out I lost my uncle. And he committed to becoming sober from alcohol, and he was admitted to a hospital to detox, and he passed away from his organs shutting down. And I was about to teach worship ride, and I came out and I had like tears, and one of the coaches, came up and hugged me, like our community hugged me.
Yeah.
And I was able to go in that room and still teach and like let it all out. And I
Yeah.
felt like he was there with me, and it was so healing.
Yeah.
So these rooms are powerful.
I know.
It's
It's wild.
it's
and I think
incredible.
so many people have had those experiences now.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
and who would have thought? I know. I don't think any of us knew what we were.
We did not know what we were doing.
What we were building. I mean, no, we didn't know what we were doing.
Or what we were building, or what this could be. But
Right.
it's our members. It is the members, and
It
it's the
100
stories they share with us that really,
That fuels our fire.
yes,
For
that
real.
is a reminder, like you are doing exactly what you need to be doing.
Right.
So thank you, everybody who shares.
For real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it really does mean that much. And we do sit back and talk about it.
Yeah.
And, like, it
And
doesn't.
constantly want to provide and be there for our community.
Yeah. And that's what, when people ask me now, I've never heard of Triumph. Like, you're supposed to have your elevator pitch or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
Like, we are a community.
Yeah.
Like, first and foremost, we're a community.
Yeah.
Like, we transform lives through movement, but we're a community.
Yes.
Like, and it's just, it's amazing. We all jokingly, when we say it, it's like, we didn't know we needed it until we knew we needed it.
Amen.
And then like now it's like you can't imagine not having it. What's the legacy that you would love to leave through your coaching, through the way you impact people through Triumph?
The legacy, I would say, would be, and this is something I'm continuing to work on in these rooms, is confidence, and finding the confidence in just being you. Because it's so easy to compare, like even myself as a coach, like I should do that like Kristen, or I should do this like Tyler, and finding my own confidence in those rooms and knowing that I am enough, I think I want to leave that legacy that everybody who walks in these rooms, just as you are enough. And
I think that's interesting because I think we all do that.
we do. I know.
And
It's hard not to.
And some of us that are thankfully still here since the beginning, I think we're in a new season of our coaching to where I think we are more accepting with being who we are, but it's taken time.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And would you say that parallels with the legacy you want to leave in the community and in life?
Yes, I think I'm wearing the shirt. Like, your life matters. You are enough. Again, it's never too late. And I think that's also just because my brother, when he passed away and took his life, he was only 19. Like, I just want to like grab everybody in the community and say, like, you are not alone.
Just hold on.
Yeah, like
Yeah, you're not alone. You
we
feel
see you.
Because I've been so close, and it's such a empty feeling.
Yeah.
You feel like nobody cares, but man, somebody out there cares. They do. I promise.
Yeah.
I promise. And they're probably just out there struggling with some of the same insecurities and thoughts that you are, which is why they're maybe not putting forth the effort that you feel they should. And a lot of times we just, instead of saying, hey, I kind of feel a certain way, can we talk about it? We just isolate.
Hold it in. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, yeah. So I'm glad that you said that. And it is. And hopefully I think it will be eye-opening to some people to see you of all people, because I think so many look to you and like, man, she has it all together.
Far from it.
But
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully it's like, yeah, we all have our things,
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah.
and we're all just striving to be the best that we can be. Final question.
Okay, give it to me.
What is your dream now for Triumph?
Oh, wow.
And where do you see it going in the next 5 years?
Oh, the next 5 years. Okay. I do see us growing and furthering our impact. I know you're doing a lot of work with trying to connect with other businesses and just get us out there, because the more we can spread
Right.
this community, it's going to help more lives. So I do see us maybe opening up another one eventually.
I like the little shoulder pop.
But I think more so, like, again, just educating people with nutrition and just telling people to show up and come work out with us.
It really starts with that.
Yeah. Like, I know any one of us, I would reach out. I will go to a class with you, because I know it's scary to go alone. I will go to any class with you. And I know all of our coaches and staff are like, yeah, I'll go with you.
We'll all do it.
We're all in here.
Yeah.
Fighting to get in here. So.
And and one of the biggest things is, like, if you're out there and you're maybe insecure, maybe afraid to commit, like, I get that. Like, in that room specifically, when I look out when I'm coaching, one of the things that I always see, just like in boxing, I always see find your power.
Yes.
I always see that.
I love that.
And I repeat that, and it's just ingrained in my heart, and there it's committed.
Yeah.
Because, like, I remember early on I had a coach say, stay committed to the commitment.
Love it.
Because you committed to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Jenna Luke and I have talked about this, because one of the things that got the click for her is she's a high-performing businesswoman, and it's like, you set meetings with your clients all day, every day. Do you ever skip those?
Right.
No. Why do you skip the one with yourself?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you go on that app and you book that spot, please know we see that. Stay committed to that commitment.
Yes, we do.
Like,
Yeah.
stay and do it for us, yeah. but more so, do it for you.
Yeah.
And then just keep showing up.
45 minutes
Which
of
is-
your day.
Yeah.
And you will never regret
Short
it.
time.
Yes.
Short time.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there any final things that you would love to just share with anybody about whatever?
Well, I'm thankful for you and for this
Same.
opportunity. This is so much fun, but definitely
Same.
thankful for this place, thankful for our community, all the coaches, and come see us.
Yes. Come see us.
Yes.
We appreciate you. I
Yes.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ow.
Woo-woo.